Howdy and welcome back to Celebrating Vintage Model Kits. Today we're going to bring in Monogram. We haven't had any Monogram kits yet, and we're going to start with one of their original 10 kits when Monogram first started issuing plastic. Monogram was kind of late to the game. They had been kind of living on some of their wood kits with a lot of plastic parts. They were kind of waiting, I guess, to see if plastic was going to take. And they finally decided to jump into fully plastic kits starting in 1955. And this is part of that original 10 kits that they made. So our subject is a Douglas B-66. This is a Air Force version of the U.S. Navy's A3D, designed by the great Ed Heinemann. The Air Force was looking for a bomber, a jet bomber that would be effective thanks to the Korean War. So they thought, hey, just take away the Navy's carrier stuff off of it, and we'll have ourselves a good airplane. Well, the B-66 didn't turn out to be the best bomber in the world. Never really did any bombing missions at all, as far as I know. Most of the Air Force aircraft ended up being reconnaissance, weather, spoof aircraft. The Air Force ended up getting a good bomber out of the B-58 from the Intruder. That was actually a British aircraft. So let's take a look at this one and see what Monogram first brought out. So to start out, you've got the Monogram 4-star logo here, and it's got Plastikit, is what they were calling their first plastic model kits. Parts molded to exact shape, easy to assemble. Again, referencing the fact that there had just recently been a lot of wood kits. Bomb bay doors open to release bomb. Movable radar directed tail stinger back here. You get a pilot, navigator, and bombardier. So emphasizing all plastic on here as well. So we'll look on the side. It's showing you the bomb bay mechanism was a button on the top. You push that and the bomb drops out. 4-star plastic kit again. And here you've got images of the first 10. P7 was the Mitchell. P9 was DC-3, and P6, which is actually the first aircraft kit in the series, was a B-26 Invader, or A-26 as other people may remember it. On the end of the box, a little hard to see, so here we got the P10, the .98s. This is a 98-cent kit. Later issues changed this to PA10, so the coding for Monogram started switching to the second letter designated what type of kit it was. So PA was an aircraft, PC was a car, PT was a tank, that kind of stuff. So this is the very first issue of it, and it was still part of the original P series. Look on the side here, we've got the other ones. P1, the very first kit, midget racer. P2 was a hot rod. P3 was a speedboat. P8's a Catalina. And then the Cadillac doesn't have a P number here. That was part of that group, 1955. And then same thing on this end, similar to the other. So again, this is, as was common at the time, this is a lithograph that was wrapped around a hard box. These were all glued by hand. And here we've got the instructions. Let's see how Monogram does their instructions for these early kits. It's a fairly large size. You've got what looks like a photograph of the completed kit here. Some more information about the kit, and a lot of information about the B-66, and then features of the kit itself. How you could kind of play with it and stuff, showing you again how to do the bomb bay. Another picture of the completed model. So Monogram gives you a exploded view of all the parts, calling them out by name. A little bit of information about how to assemble your kit. how to do the decals. And then they go to a step-by-step, utilizing drawings, showing you how to do each part. So kind of a combination of what you see from different makers. This is about the most extensive instruction sheet of the early kits that we've come across so far. Again, here's a similar thing that we saw on one other kit where the wheels are held on by heating a knife and flattening the peg that is holding the wheels on there. There's the movable rear guns there. Here's how to assemble the bomb dropping thing. Gear doors. There's the bomb mechanism again. Where to stick the bomb. There's your jets. And there's your glass piece. And then the final assembly is putting on your decals. So 16 assembly steps, quite a bit for one of these early aircraft kits. So we'll set that aside. Here we have the decals. These have yellowed considerably, but they're kind of decent looking decals. I think this is a little bit of a fantasy set of markings on here. The actual aircraft here, 22828, was actually the first aircraft of the pre-production group that was made by Douglas for the Air Force. They did not make any actual prototype for this aircraft. They felt that it had already been kind of tested by the Navy, so the Air Force did not require a separate prototype. So they just took 5 production A3Ds and converted those to the B-66 standard. The actual first production aircraft were actually our B-66s. So this the serial number is actually for that first group of 5, and it first flew on June 28th, 1954. Then Monogram's got this little insert, having fun with Monogram models, all plastic kits. And again, here's the rest of their series. Oh yeah, the Cadillac was kit P5 for the Coupe de Ville and P4 for the convertible. And then here was all their other kits. This is the layover from their wood stuff. These were their Speedy builds, and they were still peddling these. Super kits, fighting ships. So this is still making a lot of wood in 1955. Like more wood than plastic. Then information about, the different types of stuff you would need to make your kits. So let's take a look at the kit itself. So we've got ourselves here a fairly heavily riveted fuselage, all raised lines. The only inscribed stuff is for the rudder area, but everything else is raised. Very stylized, fairly simplistic. Of course, nothing on the inside. I do have the Monogram name stamped in there. Fairly simple. Top wing is all one piece, makes it a little easier. Again, heavy rivets, heavy panel lines. Here's the bottom of your wings, simple posts for the engine nacelles, which are here. All raised lines. Very simplistic. One piece tail. Do notice there's hardly any flash in all this. It's fairly finely molded. Nice silver color, so you really didn't even have to paint the kit. Simple landing gear parts. There's your tail gun dome. Here's your clear plastic. Pretty decent rendition of the framing. Not terribly thick. Maybe a little thick. But pretty clear. Flight deck. Now they actually do put little instruments on there. That's a nice little detail. Your bomb doors and wheels. The dreaded, split wheels. Those are a pain when you're gluing those suckers together and you get a nice seam line right down the middle of your wheel. And there's the bomb, your nose cone, your tail cone. And here you got the little crew figures. Looks like they're pretty much identical, guys. One's supposed to be a bombardier, I guess. He looks kind of the same. The other guys, yeah. They're all the same little dudes. Not like the Revell kits where they were pretty nicely done, and each guy in different poses. These are all same pose. So that's it for this kit. I remember I mentioned that this was what would be called a box scale. This actually scales out to 1/82nd scale. And Monogram's the only one who ever released this kit, unlike some other ones that the molds kicked around a lot. This kit was issued a couple more times in the 60s, properly labeled as an RB-66 instead of the B-66. It was also popped out by Revell in New Zealand in 1970. There was a photo box version of Monogram's style of kit from the mid-70s in 73. Then the final issue was kind of a nostalgic reissue in 1995 using one of the 60s box art styles. So that's it for today. Be sure to watch at the end here for some images of the original aircraft and then also some of the reissues of this kit. And in the comment section, let us know if you've built this kit, if you had fun with it. Monogram seems to be starting their trend early on with their series of having some sort of playability action with it. So let us know in the comment section if you built it and if you had some fun with it. Well, that's all we got for today. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.